Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In this session, we are going to talk about the concept of Linux called inter-process communication. So what is the inter-process communication? How many types of the processes we have? Now we are going to see. So all we are aware of what is the meaning of a process. A process is an ongoing activity. It may be a part of the program or it may be a program itself under execution, that is called a process, or it may be a command or it may be a collection of the commands, whatever it is, the running ongoing activity, that is called as a process. And again, the processes can be divided into two different types. Those are independent and cooperative processes. What is the meaning of the independent process? Independent process means the process executes alone itself. It does not share any kind of the data to any other process, and it does not share the resources. Okay, so such a kind of the process is nothing but independent process. The alone execution of the process without sharing the data to other processes, without sharing the resources of others, such a process is called as the independent process. And coming to the concept of the cooperative processes. Cooperative processes are, they can cooperate with each other, they can execute collectively, they can share the data, and as well as they can share the resources, and they may transfer the data from one process to the another, they can notify the events whatever generated by the processes. All these things are nothing but cooperative processes. Cooperative processes are most widely used in the powerful environment like Linux and Unix. The Linux and Unix operating system supports this cooperative environment for the processes. So, we are talking about this cooperative environment of the processes. In the cooperative environment of the processes, the process can communicate with each other. Each and every process can communicate with each other. So, this communication again can be divided into two types, that is relevant communication of processes and irrelevant communication of processes. So what is the relevant communication and irrelevant communication? If all the processes are belongs to one particular task, then the communication among the processes is relevant. If the processes are under running with different number of the tasks, then the communication among the processes are irrelevant. So the processes belongs to one particular task, they may share the data, they may transfer the data, they may share the resources which are relevant to that particular task. Such a kind of the processes are called as relevant communication of the processes. And what is the irrelevant? There are irrelevant. That means different number of the tasks having different number of the processes. Sometimes they may communicate with each other. Such a kind of the processes are called as irrelevant communication processes. So these relevant and irrelevant communication of the processes are also there in the cooperative environment like Linux and Unix operating system. So, in the Linux or Unix operating system, we have one heart of the operating system that is called as kernel. Kernel is the solely responsible for process communication. Either process want to communicate, they want to share the data, they want to share the resources, whatever it is, kernel is the whole and sole responsible for such a kind of the communication among the processes. So, inter-process communication is directly depends upon this kernel. So kernel is the heart of the operating system which facilitates the communication among the number of the processes. It may be relevant or irrelevant communication, or it may be a cooperative communication. Whatever communication it is, this kernel is whole and sole responsible. What are the advantages of this inter-process communication? Now we are going to see. Advantages of IPC. We see now number 1, data transfer. Number 2, resource sharing. Number 3, event handling. Number 4, communication. Number 5, information sharing. Number 1 is data transfer. The data will be transferred from one process to the another process. So resource sharing. Process can share the resources. One single resource can be shared by many number of the processes. So that is one advantage of inter-process communication. The next one is event handling. Event handling means the process can raise the event. That means any one of the child process will die. See, suppose this is the parent process and this is the child process. If at all this child process is going to terminate, it may notify an event to its parent. So that is called as an event notification. Any one of the process is going to terminate or it wants to terminate, it may notify to the parent process that it is going to be die or it is going to be terminate. So then it generates one event that is called as event notification. Then next one is communication. Processes communicate with each other by sending some kind of the signal, some kind of the information. And next, information sharing. The information among the processes can be shared. It may be in the form of the resources or it may be in the form of the data, whatever it is, they may share the number of the resources and information. So all these are various advantages of the inter-process communication. To implement this particular inter-process communication, we have so many number of the mechanisms. What are the mechanisms now? We are going to see. Number 1, FIFO, message queues, shared memory, signals, semaphores. These are the various mechanisms of the IPC. To implement the IPC, we may see all these mechanisms one by one. Okay, so these are the advantages and mechanisms that are going to be implemented with the help of the inter-process communication. What is the inter-process communication? The communication among the multiple number of the processes. It may be cooperative or it may be not independent, and it may be relevant or it may be irrelevant. And the next one, we have so many number of the advantages of the inter-process communication for sharing the data, for sharing the information, and for sharing the resources. The next one, to implement this, we have the number of mechanisms, all these things. These are the things. In the coming videos, we discuss each and every inter-process communication mechanisms elaborately. If you like this video, please subscribe Intelligible Tutorials channel. Thank you.